So clarity has come, thankfully, and I feel inspired to share after coming back from the dream world, which feels fitting because I want to start this sharing by referring to the dream world again. Around this time last year, I had a dream that showed me billboards of myself all over one of the streets in my hometown. And after some thought, I interpreted that as myself trying to uphold an image of myself, an image for others, and even to myself actually, an image of perfection, a certain image, a way that I wanted people to see me, a way that I wanted to see myself. Dreams that followed that were about tearing down the curtains and exposing more of the shadow, exposing more vulnerability, exposing more of myself, my true self, without trying to uphold that image. And last year, I was forced to learn that I needed to tear down those curtains, that I needed to start exchanging with others, that I needed to continue expressing and sharing some of my less perfect sides of myself, some of my uncomfortable emotions, in order to truly begin to start creating deeper connection with others. And especially, for me anyway, to be able to truly begin to experience another sort of expansion and personal growth. And even though every part of my body, every part of myself wanted to, and continues obviously to want to fight that, it is only when I tear down those curtains and when I begin to expose those like weaker or more vulnerable parts of myself that I do begin to get more clarity on my situation and begin to learn from things like stress. So getting into stress after almost 3 minutes of speaking. But this is what it all comes back to, and it's the video that I shared recently. I shared of this stress, I shared a moment in time where I was feeling like things were hopeless again, where I couldn't see the way out of an emotion. And I didn't want to share it because I hate sharing that side of myself, but it was a really clear reminder for me of how all of this work comes together again and again, time and time again. It's about still continuing to tear down those curtains. Yes, maybe I do it through video sometimes, which you don't need to do in order to experience the benefits of doing that for yourself. You can also be just doing it for yourself and not sharing videos. You can be journaling. You can be speaking to somebody that you trust. But if you're like me, then you hang on to this stuff for yourself and try to figure it out for yourself for too long. And the truth is that when we begin to allow ourselves to connect with others, when we begin to see that we don't have to do this on our own, when we reach out and use tools of support, different types of things that can help us, such as yoga or meditation or people in themselves. And that's what I've truly learned in this past year, the value of, as an introvert, actually really connecting with people in meaningful ways, in deeper ways, and not using people, but kind of using people, but in a loving way, like showing people like, you matter enough to me in my life that I'm going to share and expose those weaker parts of myself with you so that we can hopefully both learn and grow from this. And if you are lucky enough to have somebody in your life who is going to truly listen, they can sometimes reflect some of the most important parts back to you so you can stop looping in stress or whatever other emotion that you're going through. And so I guess I just want to express gratitude for the people in my life and even the people here on YouTube who help just reflect certain things. It's not about looking for advice, because ultimately we know the answers ourselves, and maybe we're just too muddied up in our mind to be able to see that clarity and to see what we need to see for ourselves. And this is why people matter. This is why connection matters. This is why we need to connect, and we need to reach out, and we need to share of ourselves, because it accelerates our own growth. It allows us to get out of those lower moments much faster than if we were to try to do it completely on our own. And so in the past year, I've learned to set up support systems for myself. I have groups of people that I trust, that I know I can go to now when I need to express myself. Because that's what it's about for me. I don't like necessarily going to people for advice, because I make my own decisions and I never ask other people like what I should do. Maybe that's stubborn side, but I trust myself the most in the end. But sometimes that's too much, and so I don't go towards others. And so in experiencing, for example, going back to this past week's expression and experience, I was experiencing an overwhelm of stress that I had not externalized, that I was not able to see because I had not externalized it. And so I found this way to externalize it, videos being my medium, initially, and then actually going a little bit deeper and opening up to 3 people in my life who I really trust. And it was an INTP best friend of mine who helped to remind me that the stress that I'm experiencing is necessary for my growth. And I know that, but in the moment sometimes we forget, right? And then sometimes you just need that little reminder to be like, yes, my soul, I am here for a reason, and I know that, and I can't give up. And once I do learn to actually pick apart and see all of the elements that I am summing up into calling stress, I can see how I can change things, how I can set up clearer boundaries with myself and with others in order to experience less stress, how I can decide how much energy that I'm putting into something, because I put all of myself into everything that I do, and I'm really having to learn to pull back on some things and figure out what my priorities are, and all of these little things that combine to create an overwhelming amount of pressure, then leading me to seeing a bunch of little things that I can improve upon in order to help take me to whatever the next thing in my journey and in my life will be. So it's always about growth, obviously. That's what it's all about, and that's the only thing that's important to me. And it's just a reminder to connect with that and to not give up, and to see all of the lessons and how they all interconnect, and to make the most of that in order to get to the next level and to the next thing, which, to be honest, now I feel completely excited about. I see a new path. I see some things are much clearer, and I have a lot of confidence for the future and for moving forward. So there are always ups and downs, and I will continue to share those ups and downs. Gabby said, an interesting approach to this, and honestly, in the beginning, I was feeling like I needed to just share like tips or, you know, my ways of coping with stuff, but my heart keeps bringing me back to this, bringing me back to expressing the light and the dark of my experience in this life. And that's the truth of it. The truth is there are constantly ups and downs. And as my dream showed me, I can't just focus on the ups and share the ups. I need to share the downs as well. For some reason, that's a part of my expression, that's a part of my art, that's a part of what I feel like I'm here to do. And even if I don't like showing those weaker sides of myself, I know that it is all connected, and I hope that maybe in sharing the clarity that comes after expressing and feeling into those uncomfortable emotions and sharing them and picking them apart and seeing what needs to be processed, showing the post-processing a week later like this, I hope that it can give you some inspiration and show you what you can do for yourself if you also ever find yourself to be feeling those ups and downs in life. So feel free to let me know if this brought something up for you, as always, because again, you are an important part of this expression project for me, because even if you feel like you're only pointing out something that is like irrelevant or maybe not important or the heart of the matter, it doesn't matter. It's not about trying to like write the best comment or share the best expression. It's just feeling into your heart and expressing what needs to be expressed in that moment. And sometimes you can be surprised by what ripples out of that. So thank you for listening, and we'll see what the heart wants to express next. Have a great day.